Yo yo yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new F1 2020 video. Today we are league racing again around Abu Dhabi this time in PSGL round 13. Currently heading out for our first run in Q1. I've already done one lap on intermediates. I always see a lot of questions on why I go out on intermediates. It's just to make sure my wheel, pedals and everything else is working, so in case something is wrong I don't waste or damage a set of softs or mediums. And as we can basically see usually already in Q1, if it's gonna rain later on in qualifying or in the race, we don't really need them. So especially around Abu Dhabi where it basically never rains, we're not gonna use that set of intermediates anyway, so you might as well just take those, absolutely screw them, destroy them, as we're not gonna use them anyway. As Fexit just passed me, it's gonna be his first race in PSGL, so good luck to him. Gonna be tough. It's a very tough grid, of course. Many current and future F1 esports drivers. So Fexit replacing Yoshida, who I think has broken pedals. So I'm not sure if he's gonna do future races again or the rest of the championship, as after this race there are only going to be 2 races remaining. We can win the constructors championship, as you can see here. We have a 44 point lead, and as the winner gets 16 points and second place 12 plus the fast lap, that means you can get a maximum of 29 points in a weekend. So if, for example, Danny wins, I score 0 points and William scores 0 points, we're gonna win the constructors, as we basically need to just outscore them by 50 points and then we have won the championship. So really aiming for that this weekend. We just have to try and win, get maybe another 1-2. Both me and Danny missed quite a few races, so it's just been a very good season so far, both for us, as I missed a lot of races because of Formula E. Danny just didn't do the start of the season with PSGL. So yeah, as you can see now, had a pretty decent first sector, 16.654. In Q3 we're probably aiming to do 1/10 faster than that, maybe a 5.7, but right now we just have to basically beat the bottom 5 in this session. So really no need to take risk, we're just gonna take it easy, get a decent lap on the board, don't invalidate, so that after this push lap we can just chill in the pit lane and focus ourselves after that on Q2, as we're gonna try to get into Q3 on the mediums, so we can start on the mediums. For the people who don't know, you basically have to start on the compound that you used in qualifying 2, just like in real life. So if we get into Q3 on mediums, that means we can start on mediums, and that just gives us a lot more options in the race strategy wise. So there are basically strategy-wise 2 options available. You can do medium to soft in the race, or soft medium soft, or soft medium medium. So that's 3. It's either 2 stop or 1 stop. So yeah, coming across the line it's a 131.883, which puts us P1 for now. I think around 2/10 ahead of our teammate Danny Moreno at the moment. We're not gonna go out again, that's for sure. We're gonna stay in, as this surely is gonna be enough to get us into Q2. So as you can see here, we managed to finish the session in P1 1.4 tenths ahead of Dylan Warren and 1.57 tenths ahead of Danny Moreno. Oh my god, it's Joe in a decent position, P4, looking pretty strong around here. Obviously Q1 is not that important, we just had to get through on 1 set of tires, which we managed to do. And now let's head into Q2. We're just warming up our mediums, as we're only going to get 1 shot at this, so we don't want to set any extra laps, and we don't have the fuel anyway. As you can see, coming across the line we have 1.26 laps of fuel, and we need 1.25 to finish a push lap, so pushing a little bit there with the fuel. That's going to turn 1, big snap of oversteer on the exit, but we managed to keep it on the road. Definitely some time loss there, probably lost around half a tenth. As you can see now, going through the second sector, I just finished the first sector, 16.740 and I think we can do a 16.65 on the medium, so already 900s down as we go into the second sector, opening our DRS now. It's gonna be tough to get into Q3 on those mediums, as quite a lot of people are probably gonna try and knock us out on the softs, so really interesting to see what's gonna happen here. Definitely I expect the midfield people to try and get into Q3 on softs, and obviously there's a little bit of a skill gap, but the mediums are around 6, 7, 10 slower than the softs, so not gonna be easy, that's for sure, but we just have to try our best. Not invalidate, because if we invalidate this lap, it's over. It's out of qualifying for us, so we really need to get our lap together here, going into this next right-hander. Got it pretty right. I felt pretty comfortable on the mediums, so not gonna take any risk. You see part of debris on the exit there, and I didn't want to run over it in case it was gonna give me a puncture. So just stayed away a little bit from there, and also in the second last corner on the exit, I had a lot of space on the outside, as sometimes it randomly invalidates if you get close to track limits. I feel like it's one of the only track or corners on the calendar where it invalidates you wrong. If I remember correct, there's some corners where you can like run wider, but this corner just invalidates even if you don't actually take track limits. So taking it quite safely throughout this whole qualifying session through there, that's for sure. So looking at the results now, Alessio Di Capua on softs. So he's going to be starting on the softs in the race. So probably opting for a two-stop strategy, just like Matthijs, Timon. So that's going to be definitely interesting to see them do a two-stop. I think theoretically a two-stop is faster, but you have to get through the traffic, and that's not easy, of course. If you're stuck in the final sector behind someone on all tires on your new softs, you're going to be losing easily a second. So really crucial that they get through the traffic, otherwise they're going to be screwed basically. As we now go to our first run of qualifying 3, you can see Barry Borman did a 131.820 on a new set of softs, just like us. We've got 2 new set of softs for this session, going through there, a little bit safe again on the track limits on that exit. As I said before, going across the line is going to be a 131.445, and that puts us P1 by 0.4 of a second, as our teammate Danny Moreno does go a little bit faster into P2 with a 131.7, if I remember correctly, a mid-7. So Paul by 0.3 of a second at the moment, but it's still 1 run to go, and we really need to get a small improvement there in that final run if we want to get Paul. As we now head to our final run of qualifying, it's Q3, a new set of softs are on now, and you can see pretty low on fuel again, like always, pushing the limits. We're preparing the lap to get as much speed as possible into turn 1. You can see we're equal on the delta going into turn 1, braking to 4th gear, short shifting to 5th, and we are 200s down as we turn in to this next left-hander. We had a pretty decent exit, so we managed to catch up, and as we go into the second sector, we are equal on our time, exactly same sector 1 as before. As now through this section, you can see we went green for a brief moment, overshot the apex a little bit, but we managed to keep the speed up and get a decent exit. As now opening our DRS 200s up as we're heading towards the next chicane, braking point around 100 meters as we downshift to 2nd gear, short shifting to 3rd as we go over a little crest here, short shifting to 4th again, and now opening our DRS 100 up. We lost 100 in that chicane, upshifting to 8th gear, and then braking just after the 100 meters. Use all the track available down to 3rd gear, trail brake in to get the car rotated, use as much curb as possible. I had a little bit of a wiggle on that exit, but we managed to keep the medium speed up, and look at that exit, 110 up as we head into the next right-hander. Braking point, just feeling, really have to get it right on feeling, and the same for this whole section. We really have to be in a nice flow. Short shifting to 5th, little bit of oversteer as we fight towards that barrier. Bit too safe on the track limits there. Didn't want to get invalidated, and I overslowed on minimum speed through there, and I lost another half a tenth on that exit. But coming across the line, it's going to be a 131.364. and it's about to be broken by Barry, who goes 4,000 faster. Our teammate Danny Moreno is still on the lap, but as you can see on the steering wheel, he is down on our lap time. Currently he has a 1:31.74, and he is around 1.5 tenths down on our time, so he's most likely not going to get pole position, even though we had a quite poor last 2 corners. I feel like we should have taken more risk there, because I already had a decent banker, so I could have taken more risk definitely in those final 2 corners. Looking at the qualifying results now, yeah, I had a 5-1 in the final sector, and I felt like I probably could have done a 4-5, definitely. But anyway, teammate Danny Moreno starting P4 as Alessio Di Capo. I jumped him by 200. Our fellow Dutchman Timon P5, pretty solid from him, but he's starting on the softs. And Alessio Di Capo starting behind us, or yeah, not directly behind us as he in P3, but yeah, he's going to be starting on the softs as well, so that's going to be tricky for sure.
Inside the top 10 on the mediums. Okay, good luck for the start.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So as you can see there on the top left, Barry, me and Danny Moreno all on the mediums, and then Alessio Di Capo and P3 on softs, and Timon on the softs as well. So we're going to be under threat from those guys at the start of the race and the first 4 laps, I feel like, as that's really where the softs excel, and then they start to drop off quite aggressively, as there's quite a disbalance because this track just asks so much from the rear tires. So the balance will shift to oversteer definitely during the first stint. Anyways, let's head towards the race now. Building up the revs as we go to 5 red lights, and away we go. Initially a very good start, and the second phase is pretty good as well. Going into turn 1, braking, we're absolutely clear, and up to P1 we go at the start of the race. Going towards through this chicane now, all flat out. Not going to use any overtake as I'm going to save it for that straight that's going to come up. 2 very long straights coming up, so really need to save the energy recovery system for this exit, as now we're going to turn on the overtake on this exit to build a little bit of a gap to everyone behind us, as Alessio is probably going to push on those softs very early on, and we just have to try and be clear. But Barry in that slipstream is pulling alongside us probably. He's going to go for the move down the inside. We give just enough room and we stay clear through the chicane. And now I'm gonna attack again a little bit with the energy recovery system, so I can be clear going into the final sector of the first lap. 2 tenths clear as we head towards the braking zone, and now we have the advantage that everyone behind us has a little bit of dirty air, and my goal for this first hint is just to save the rear tires as much as possible, so you're not gonna be seeing me sliding around and pushing the limit. I'm just going to be saving the rears, and that's why I'm a little bit low on fuel. I'm just going to stay in lean for most throughout this slow section, just to minimize wheel spin. You can see now I'll build up the gap to 6 tenths as we go towards start finish. So pretty good opening lap right here. We haven't used too much ERS as well. We had 75% on the line, and you can see there Barry using on the exit there as he closed the gap by almost a tenth on that exit. As I said before, I'm not going to be pushing hard on those tires. I'm just going to be chilling and save those rears in the next few laps. As we now move on to lap 9. You can see Alessio Di Capo went into the pits around lap 6, lap 7. So he's going to be opting for the 2-stop strategy, surely. He might go into the softs in the final stint again. But anyway, Timon looks like he's going for a 1-stop as well. He's still out on the softs behind Louis Welch, who has the fast lap at the moment. So GG to him. He's doing pretty well on the pad around Abu Dhabi. Seems like it suits him very well. As Barry Berman comes into the pits now. Okay, copy. So very early stop on the mediums. We're looking to pit around lap 16, 17, 18.
80% going into the pit.
And that means he either is going to the hards or he's going for the 2-stop. Okay. And
can work together.
As he goes onto the mediums, which I heard from Ben a little bit later on, I'm not sure exactly where, but Barry went onto the mediums, which means he's gonna do a 2-stop. And
What's your tire wear?
He beat though.
What's your tire wear?
45.
43. Probably.
Barry hit the mediums again.
Okay, so that's definitely a 2-stop.
How much tire wear you had, Jarn?
43 when you said 45. So yeah, as you heard Ben say there, Barry went to mediums again. Even though the mediums can make 18 laps, he started on the mediums, which means he has to make another stop because you have to use 2 tire compounds, which is just an official F1 rule. So he has to make another stop and go to the softs. So he's probably going to do another 10 laps on mediums again before he goes into the pits for softs. But we are going to stay out on mediums for another 6-7 laps before we are heading towards the pits. I said, as Barry boxed, I'm not going to push and try and get out of the DRS from Danny, as I feel like it's better to work together.
Okay. 80.
No. I was 60 on the line. As even though a 2-stop you basically lose 20 seconds by making a pit stop, the tire advantage is so big that we have to work a little bit together to avoid getting overtaken by the 2-stop. You can see there Alessio doing a 36.1 and our best is a 37.1, and I think we're doing around a 1:38.0 at the moment. So we're 2 seconds a lap slower, which means they would catch up in around 10 laps time. But obviously they're not going to be able to keep up for that pace as well on those mediums. Their mediums will drop off as well, as they'll be very fast when they're new and slowly drop off as the stint goes on. As we move on to the start of lap 13, you can see 1:38.3, and I think Barry did a 1:35.7, so he's over 2 seconds per lap faster now. But as I said a few seconds ago, there's a little bit of a wiggle on that. Tricky. On that exit, touched too much of that curb and lost the rear almost. So a little bit of correction there. There's a yellow flag in sector 1 and there's a safety car. So this is tricky for us as we cannot go onto the mediums again as we're aiming for a 1-stop.
It's a little early for the soft, but they'll make it if you manage a lot.
What's it per lap?
I mean, I pitted 17 to 18 and I wasn't even close to getting the indicator yet.
Yeah, you can't.
The thing is, Carleton got a drive-through, by the way.
Okay.
The thing is,
yeah.
Speed Barry and Alessio, they can't pit. It will be stupid from them. But it really depends from what everyone else does. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna pit. I'm gonna pit for softs. I just have to nurse them then. I just.
Shall I just continue then, or double stack?
I really don't know, man.
Yeah, it's.
Shall I pit then, or?
Your decision.
Yeah, your decision. I don't know, to be honest.
So as we come into the pits now for a set of soft tires, which is gonna be a massive stretch. 14 laps on the softs is gonna be very hard. Luckily we have another 1 or 2 laps of safety car before we have to go in again. And also a lot of people have already made pit stops, so it's a little bit of a free pit stop. But those softs are gonna be absolutely screaming towards the end of this stint, towards the finish. So as you can hear Danny say, should have double stacked. Yeah, it's just so hard as the double stack in the F1 game takes so long.
You'd have lost about 5 positions.
That much, do you think?
Alessio pit again. He's been held in pits as well. He had the penalty in the pit lane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but Jarno and these guys are gonna have now a massive advantage. And I don't think Taiwo is gonna be bad, to be honest. It's not gonna be that bad.
This is gonna be a nurse and a half to the end, I think so.
No, it's not that much, to be honest.
Okay.
It's not that much.
We just
Like, I
have to
pitted
see.
lap 17 the other day and I wasn't even close to like getting an indicator.
Yeah, but they drop off hard when they get near.
Yeah, I
so
understand.
Pace will be really bad.
So yeah, as you can hear Danny say, Danny's doing another league, which is RL Global, which basically follows the PSGL calendar. But he said that he made it very easily from pitting end of lap 16, 17. So, as you can hear Ben say, Barry's mediums are going to be a second a lap faster than Danny's mediums. We have new softs, of course, and I am taking very careful under safety car, as I really don't want to get any tire wear on those softs. So that's why you can see they're so cold, only 1% wear, as we don't want to get any extra wear under the safety car. We will warm them up just as the safety car comes in, but not even excessively, as we just want to warm them up just enough. So we maybe don't have optimum grip, but we don't want to get any extra tire wear, of course. As we now move on to safety car coming in this lap. So Danny is about to probably start and pull away. As you can see him say, I'm going now, which helps us a little bit, so we can be more on it at the restart. We're gonna have new softs compared to a lot of people on 6-7 lap old mediums, or like Danny and Prachinator were on 16 laps old mediums. I think Lemulo is on 16 lap old mediums as well. Just Barry is the one that made the pit stop at the end of lap 9. So we're gonna have a massive advantage, as you saw us easily overtake Lemulo on those old mediums. You can see Philip struggling as well as Barry sends it into the hairpin. We are gonna try and undercut on the exit. We have much more grip under traction, as we're gonna slipstream behind Barry now and try to gain a little bit from the slipstream, maybe overtake him on the next straight, braking down to second gear. As I said before, I'm not going to be pushing straight away, I'm just going to be nursing those tires once.
5 seconds.
For what? Do we know?
I think it should be removed.
No, he can't. Because he needs to
it's
pit
a
again.
pit, yeah. So as you can hear Danny say there, 5-second penalty for Barry, I think for an illegal overtake, but I'm not sure honestly. But he has to take them, as they cannot be removed, simply because, let's say, he pits, he automatically will take it, but then if there will be another safety car, the pack will bunch up again, and then he will basically, if it would get removed, gain 5 seconds for free. So that's why the league cannot remove his 5-second penalty, as it would just be unfair if he gets basically a free pit stop
They won't
and
be able to hold him.
get a free penalty taken away. So yeah, now just nursing those softs. You can see Louis catching up a little bit on the softs as Barry goes around the outside. No, he thinks better of it and backs out, as there's another safety car.
Safety car.
Oh, my tires are 9%. So. Which means a free pit stop for Barry and Danny Moreno ahead of us. But at the same time, it helps us a little bit as well with tire wear.
Because I'm still not gonna be.
At least you have newer tires. I think that's the only plus.
There's quite a few cars on mediums, quite a few with penalties. Some are probably going to pit again as well. So
Alessio will beat Alessio's on medium, right?
yeah, and then Alvaro's
Drive through. Yeah, Alvaro's unlucky. Still, he has to do the drive through and he can't.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars with penalties, so keep it clean. You could still get good result.
Oh yeah, Barry has to serve the 5 seconds, of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
Carrington has been in trouble because he still has to do his drive-through. Imagine if he would have taken it just before the safety car.
I might get held though as well. I think I am in the window.
I think not a lot of people are gonna pit again, so I think you're fine.
Yeah, I think no one.
I'm not allowed to hold up the train, but
yeah, I know. Don't worry.
I just drive.
That's why I didn't pit with you before, because I could have hold the train, but Yeah, it's a penalty, so. No way! 5 seconds, fuck.
So as you can see there, Danny went into the pits and got a speeding in the pit lane penalty.
No.
As he missed the pit limiter button. So that's very unfortunate. We're just gonna focus again and try to nurse these tires. I'm not gonna push on the safety car, of course, as we want minimum tire wear, so that we can push flat out once the safety car comes in until the end of the race. So as now safety car is coming in this lap, you're gonna hear me say I'm struggling to warm up the rear tires as I'm massively limited by the throttle limiter that the game puts on. So I cannot really warm up the rears because of this. So it makes it a little bit harder. But we're gonna absolutely bolt it and push until the end of the race. You can see I go in the middle of the corner, which makes it very hard for the person behind me to predict. And now coming across start finish, we already have a 7/10 gap going into turn 1. And we're gonna absolutely send it on this lap. We're gonna use all of fuel and ERS to try and get out of DRS, sorry. I absolutely messed up that sentence. But we're gonna absolutely bolt it as Alvaro Carreton didn't take his drive through, which means he has been disqualified from the race. As now half a second purple through the first sector, and already out of DRS as we go into the second sector as well. So gonna keep using my ERS and fuel that I have extra and try to get this fastest lap and get out of DRS. As fastest lap means we get an extra point, and as a win gets you 16 points, that extra point is quite a lot compared to the 25-point win you have usually. So Louis gained a little bit back on the traction zones as the pad is slightly better in the traction zones, but now going into the final sector we're gonna have the advantage in the chicanes again as we're a lot more precise with the wheel. So Louis doing very well on his pad in this basically esports level league race, but now he has to concede in this final sector as we're gonna keep pushing the ERS to get his fastest lap of the race to try and get this fastest lap point. So now we're going through this next left and we're 1.8 seconds ahead now, which means we almost gained 2 seconds to Louis just on this lap. As we go into the final corner now, we go a little bit wide, but it's going to be the fastest lap of the race, a 1:34.492, 2.7 seconds faster than my previous medium fastest lap. And that is because, well, on the mediums I was saving tires, of course, and because of this extra safety car, I don't have to save these softs anymore, so I can just push as hard as I can and use all my ERS. I think I'm quite clear of all the championship contenders, so I can basically cruise from here on and just save tires until the end of the race. As we now move on to the final sector, absolutely nothing happened in between. All I had to do was be careful on those tires, not make any mistakes, don't get any track limit warnings, and yeah, just drive on a decent pace, bring it home. Barry got a free pit stop in the end as well, of course, because of the second safety car, but he had to do a little bit more overtaking. Same for teammate Danny Moreno, but unfortunately he DNF'd from this race. But with Williams having a 5-second time penalty and a disqualification, that means we are gonna get the Constructors Championship coming across the line. We are Constructors Champions. I didn't know at the time, I only got told a few minutes after the race. So a full 17 points maximum available for me means we pull out the Driver Championship to 12 points as well. So that means we can win the Driver Championship next time out in Brazil. I think is the second last race. I'm sorry, Melbourne. Melbourne is next week, and then Brazil is the last one. So if we manage to win the final or second last race of the season, we can wrap up the driver's title as well, which is just amazing, of course, considering we have missed 5 races because of Formula E. So very good season so far, 3rd race win in a row, so very happy about that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also subscribe to my Jarno Opmer Clips channel. I'll put the link in the description if you want to see fun clips of me doing open lobbies or some good overtakes or world records. I'll post them up there, so make sure to subscribe to that as well. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you guys next time with, I hope, another super nice video. So see you guys next time. Ciao.